everybody, so today I'm going to show you my current foundation routine. My foundation routine has changed ever since September when our Touch Liquid Foundation came out and also our concealer. So I just wanted to show you what I do if I want to do a full face of makeup. This is my foundation routine. Okay, so as always, we start out with the Glorious Face and Eye Primer. Use just a little tiny pea amount. As much as I miss, or I don't miss the glass bottle for our old Glorious, I did like it for the fact that it did give me some control as far as like how much I pumped out, because this one kind of just comes out really quickly. So I love this product. It covers all my pores and it gives me a barrier between my makeup and my skin, and it helps it hold all day long, and that's that. And you don't need to let it sit for too long. The Glorious Face and Eye Primer won't dry to a powder finish, so you can just keep going and not really stop and let it set for too long, because it won't set to a powder finish. So this is our Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation that I love. It's a serum foundation. I'm gonna shake it up really well, and I'm gonna use my powder puff brush, and I'm going to, the last time you saw me do my foundation, I put it on the back of my hand, but this time I'm gonna show you that you can actually put it directly, can you even see what I'm doing? Directly on the brush. And see that? So I put the drops directly on the brush, and I'm gonna dot my face. I'm gonna show you what I want to cover up first before I even do that. I have like some hyperpigmentation, some sun damage that's going on. There is a blemish right there. That is an old hyperpigmentation from a blemish that was like 2 months ago. And then hyperpigmentation on my cheeks, and just some unevenness on my forehead, and definitely some pores on my cheeks to cover up. So I'm just gonna dot my face with my powder puff brush and the liquid foundation on there, you can see. And I'm just gonna buff it into my skin. This is the shade Cashmere. And those 5 drops is all you need to cover your whole face. I'm sure you've seen all the amazing videos that have come out of girls covering Sharpie, covering lip stain on their face. But it's amazing. It smells great. It goes on so smooth. The liquid to powder finish is to die for. This is the brush, so I'm just showing you that it's not caking your brush just because it's a liquid foundation. The fact that it does dry to a powder, the brush is the perfect application tool for this foundation. So that's that. So next I want to do the Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer, and I should have done this earlier, and I wanted to put it on the back of my hand. That is all you need, that tiny bit of foundation, because a little bit goes a long way. And I forgot to put it on my hand. Usually I like to warm it up a little bit because it is a thicker formula foundation and it does need to warm up a bit. So, and I usually use my fingers, but just because I didn't warm it up, let me use the brush. And I get my concealer 2 to 3 shades lighter. This is the shade Taffeta, which I believe is 3 shades lighter from Cashmere. And 2 reasons for that. I like to highlight with my concealer, so I'm doing that upside down triangle. And then also this concealer oxidizes to a shade that's a shade darker. So if I went one shade lighter, it wouldn't brighten at all. It would just cover, which is great. And if that's what you want, just go 1 shade lighter. If you want to brighten and highlight, go 2 to 3 shades lighter. And then I'm going to highlight my forehead and paint put my war paint on, as my grandmother says, and I'm gonna go down my nose to highlight that, the Cupid's bow, and the chin. You can have some extra, which is crazy because that little dot is what we started out with. I'm gonna just highlight this. And I'm sure you've heard, if you just highlight your face, that's strobing. You add the lowlights, which is the darker shades, which would go here, that's contouring, so highlighting, contouring, whatever. So all this terminology that just means the same thing that it always did. So that's how I applied my Skin Perfecting concealer. I'm gonna take my blending bud, I'm gonna blend that out. I'm just gonna pounce this up and down on my skin to blend it out. And at first it seems a little stark because it is so light, but then as you can see, as it's warming up on my skin, it's really sinking in and getting a shade darker, so it's not as highlighted as it was before. I hit this. And as I said, my foundation routine has really changed since September 1st when these new products came out. I used to just do BB cream and then hit that with the Touch Press powder, but you know, this is so easy. Like, the foundation blends so well and it covers absolutely everything. So that is me highlighted, and the next step is, for me, I take the same blending bud, and I gotta apologize because this is not a unique product. I cannot find my mineral concealer in the color Fresh, which is our lightest. I want to say somebody stole it, but whenever I say that, it ends up in my drawer or whatever, and it's just because I'm disorganized, whatever. But I like to take my blending bud, and this is a translucent powder. This is NARS Crystal Powder. It's just a white powder. It's completely translucent. But the same blending bud, I like to go in there, and I want to set my contour or my highlight under my eye, especially because if I don't do that, sometimes I have creasing under my eye with the concealer, and that's never a good thing. So I always like to set it with a powder. You could also set it with the pressed powder foundation if you want more coverage. But I really like to do the under eye, and my whole purpose for doing this is just to add a little more highlight to what I've already done with the concealer. Can you see that? It kind of looks like I contoured, but it's not. And don't worry, I am going to go back in and blend it out with my powder brush. But I wanted to set all of that with my translucent powder. And some people like to let that sit for a little bit, but I just like to get rid of it. Okay, so that's awesome. And the last thing I do for my foundation routine is this guy, and I said it in my top 10 favorite unique products video. This is really one of my favorite products. I never thought I would be a bronzer girl, but look at this. See those little ridges? It's because I hit pan on this. I'm actually running out. I've never in my life ran out or hit pan or finished a bronzer ever, but this stuff is so amazing. It's not orangey. It just gives you a natural glow, and every time I do a video and I forget my bronzer, I'm always like, I look so pale, or I look so flat, I look so one-dimensional. And every time I love my makeup during a video, it's because I have my bronzer on and I just look like I have that natural glow. And people have actually asked me if I've been on vacation, which is also kind of cool. So as you can see, I use the matte side or the matter side. They're both shimmer, but this is the darker matte, less shimmery side, I should say, of the bronzer. And I'm using the shade Malibu, and I am just going to go in under the cheekbone, and I'm just gonna contour with my bronzer. And I like to go in that 3 formation. I like to use that 3 technique. But I do my cheekbone first to carve that out, and I go up on the top of my forehead and the temple area and down along my jawbone. And I'll go in if I'm traveling and I don't want to bring a lot of product, I'll just use the bronzer, the matte side, and then I'll use the shimmer side as a blush. So let me show you that right now. Smile pretty, and then just apply that to the apples of your cheeks with the same brush. I'm not into traveling with a million different brushes, so I've just used this blusher brush and my powder puff brush and the concealer brush, which I normally wouldn't have used, but I wanted to spread that concealer on pretty evenly for you. Go and hit the highlights and anywhere where the sun would naturally hit my face. And that is my current foundation routine. You know what? That looks like a mole and it's not. I didn't cover it. But there you go, everything's covered. The Touch foundation mixed with in combination with the Touch Perfecting concealer is magical on my skin. I love the way the bronzer makes me glow. Our products are amazing. So those 5 products are my go-to. The Glorious Face and Eye Primer, the Touch Liquid Foundation, the concealer, the Skin Perfecting Concealer, and what else did I use? The bronzer, and then, what am I missing? I'm missing something. But you can just, whatever, tell me what I missed. But definitely these 2 products in combination with this bad boy is amazing. And I cannot imagine doing my face without them because perfection. All right, so thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.